Hello everyone, this is Average Joe Video. I'm Joe, and today we're going to talk about what I believe is Stihl's best kept secret. That's right, this is something that more than likely, if you're a Stihl user, professional, or homeowner, you are probably not aware of this capability. So let's dig into it. So I purchased this brand new SH86C leaf blower from my Stihl dealer, of course. And this particular blower has a feature on it, an add-on feature, I should say, that most people probably are unaware of. And that is, this blower will connect via Bluetooth to my phone. Well, it turns out there is a brand new product available from Stihl. I believe it's been out for a little while, but it's not really something you hear much about. And that is the Stihl Smart Connector. So here I have a brand new one in the box. But if you take a closer look at this blower, you will notice that here on the bottom is where I mounted the Stihl Smart Connector to make it so that my leaf blower has Bluetooth capability. So why would you want Bluetooth capability? That's probably what you're thinking right now. But the reason why this is very important, and I felt that it was worthwhile, is because this particular connector allows me to keep track of the running time and the maintenance intervals for my machine. It keeps track of the maintenance based on hours as well as the maintenance based on time. Now, I realize as a homeowner, this is not going to get as much use as a professional, but the point is it allows me to have a baseline for how much I'm using my equipment and what maintenance tasks need to be performed. So you might be wondering, well, how hard is it to install it? How does all of this work? So we're going to take a look at the actual app on my phone here in just a second, but I want to talk about what's actually included whenever you purchase one of these connectors from your Stihl dealer. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to unbox this just so you can see what all is included in the packaging. So you're going to notice initially you have the actual Stihl Smart Connector. On top here, you're going to see that you have an orange cap. This is what holds the battery in. On the back of it, you're going to see that there is actually adhesive. So one of the options for attaching this to your unit is to use the adhesive. I personally opted to use the adhesive as well as the included fasteners. So if you look, Stihl actually has you covered on this one because they give you every single thing that you need. So here is what's included in the package. Let's go ahead and we'll open this up and take a look inside. All right, so if we take a look here, you actually have a tool for opening the battery cap. Now, is this absolutely necessary? No, but it's convenient. And this obviously fits directly in the battery cap so that you can remove it. Now, this one's brand new and I'm not installing it right now, so I'm not gonna remove the cap. But I do wanna let you know that you need to remove the cap when you first install it because there is actually a protective barrier in there to keep the battery from activating. You've seen many of those devices where you have to pull the clear tab to activate the battery that's inside. It's just a coin cell battery, and that's what you've got to remove. That's why you have to remove this upon installation to activate everything and to set up the Bluetooth. The other thing that they give you is they give you the fasteners, which basically are these Torx head fasteners. I'll put them on this white cardboard, so hopefully that's a bit easier to see. All right, in addition to those fasteners, they also give you washers as well. So that's how you're gonna actually fasten this to the unit. And then they thought of everything at Stihl as they always do, and they are giving you a small Torx wrench that fits these fasteners because the location that is identified in the application, in other words, when you scan the code, the serial number on the bottom of your device, or you type it in manually, it's going to instruct you as to the ideal placement on the unit. So that's why I placed the Stihl connector where I did on my particular unit, because that's what the app told me to do. And many of those locations are kind of tight. So they give you this compact wrench so that there's no issues fastening it. It also tells you what size pilot holes to drill in the housing, so you're not guessing on anything, which is very nice. Now, I do want to add the disclaimer, they are only going to provide you with the mounting instructions for the Smart Connector. if you purchased a newer piece of equipment. For example, I installed this on my FS90R. It just gives me very generalized directions of having it in the region near the spark plug. And I'm assuming obviously that's so that it can pick up the electromagnetic field, and that's how it can track the hours. Now, a couple things I want to mention as well. This has a replaceable battery, obviously, which most hour meters do not have replaceable batteries. If you buy your typical hour meter on Amazon or from a power equipment dealer, not only does it have that wire lead that has to wrap around the spark plug boot, it also has an internal battery that is not replaceable. That's what's awesome about this, is it does have a replaceable battery, so you know you're going to get life out of it. It's going to last for quite a long time. They tell you in the owner's manual for this that it should last approximately 1 year, and then you would expect to change it. My assumption, because I haven't gotten to 1 year yet, is that when this dies, the app will have already kept track of the hours. So when you put your new battery in, you're going to pick up where you left off. Okay, so if you take a look at the Stihl Connected app, you can see here I have two pieces of equipment. So I have the Stihl SH86C blower that I just mentioned, as well as my Stihl FS90R weed trimmer, string trimmer, whatever you'd like to call it. So in this particular case, it does tell me the amount of hours that I have on the unit. This means that I have 1 hour and 25 minutes on my brand new blower. And then obviously the time actually can be adjusted. I just left the Stihl string trimmer start at 0. But if you already know approximately how many hours are on the particular unit that you're attaching this device to, you could obviously start it at a value other than 0. So if I go into the Stihl handheld leaf blower, which is what I named it, then I can actually go into the app and I can check out different things. If I press current, it's obviously syncing. Obviously, I didn't run this unit just now, so there's nothing for me to sync as far as today goes. But I can also go in here to upcoming, and this is where it's going to give me a breakdown of maintenance. So if I take a look here where it says check the condition of air filter, that's upcoming maintenance due at the end of August, which is August 28th. All right, and you can put notes in there. You can resolve it once you've performed that maintenance. So the biggest thing that I was interested in is just keeping track of the hours on the machine. Most people do not mount an hour meter to a 2-cycle piece of equipment. So I think Stihl has really changed the game when it comes to keeping track of the maintenance on your unit. And if you look, obviously there's a lot of different reminders. Clean cylinder fins, if I click on that, it's telling me that's going to be due in October, and that's at 98 more hours and 35 minutes. So 98 hours and 35 minutes from now, I would need to do that. Obviously, some of these, the time is going to come up before the run time, which is why they give you due dates and they give you hour readings as well. So even if you're a landscaper and this is something that you're using every day, then you know how many hours are on your machine. Okay, so there you have it, the Stihl Smart Connector. I highly recommend you give this a try. Just try one of them on one of your pieces of equipment. I don't think you're going to regret it at all. Stihl did a great job with this. This device does everything that you need it to do and gives you a little bit more insight on your equipment. And if you're a professional user, you're a landscaper, you're going to find these to be very valuable with your entire fleet of Stihl equipment or whatever equipment you decide to place it on. That's the great part about it. No matter what type of equipment you are running, you could actually use the Stihl Smart Connector. And Stihl really thought of everything with this. I think they're very ahead of the curve on this. I think we're going to see more of these Bluetooth connection type modules in the future, because they're just so much easier for the end user to install, especially with that self-adhesive on there. You can't make it much easier than that. You don't have that tedious wire that's wrapping around the spark plug. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing as well. That way you can get more content just like this.